Hello Gundam fans, welcome back to my channel. I'm Laguna. I'm really glad to have you guys joining me once again. Now today I'm really excited to be able to show you guys another one of my collection. Now if you remember my last video, I actually reviewed something from the Tamashii Nation 2016, which is the RX-78-2 Gundam real movie poster color. Now I talk about how I really hated the RX-78-2 Gundam in tricolor scheme, and today this is really something special that I got last time from the Tamashii Nations, this time 2018. So without much further ado, let me just open up the box. This is a really awesome one. Oh wow, it's like a really tight sound. And there it is, bam! The Robot Spirits Side MS RX-78-2 Gundam and G Fighter version anime real type color. Yep. And this is the front box cover. Now this is just like a cover jacket. The actual box is below, and it's a really awesome color. Now keep in mind guys, the only time I've ever opened up this box is actually to check the content upon getting it like 2 years ago, and after that this whole thing has been in storage, so it's in a very pristine condition. And you guys are like, this is like the second time I'm unboxing this. Now as you can see, this is a limited edition. It's a SP, there's no R number. And like I said, I really hate the RX-78-2 Gundam in its tricolor yellow, white, red, blue color. Yeah, so you know, I'm just finding whatever excuse that I can to avoid getting it in its original color. And you know, when Tamashii Nations announced this, I'm really happy because I've been interested in the, you know, the regular release version of the Gundam and G Fighter in its original color, but yeah, I just hated that color. So okay, without much further ado, I'm gonna open up the inside. Now this box is kinda, I would say, big for an action figure, and there's a lot of things going on inside here. And yeah, it's a two-tier packaging. The first tier will be where the Gundams and the G Fighter, and the second tier will contain the accessories, and then over here we have the manual. Okay, let's just put this aside. Now bear in mind, this is like a lot of things to go through. Like the manual itself is kind of like long, but I'll just kind of go through the essential ones and maybe just do a little bit of review on the actual Gundam itself. But this review is mostly gonna be concentrated on the different combinations you can get through this kit, through this action figure kit. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean out my desk a bit, take out the stuff, and there we go. Okay, I've taken out the Gundams, and for comparison's sakes, here's the RX-78-2 Gundam real movie poster color type. Okay, for comparison's sake. So now this is the RX-78-2 real color type. So as you can see, this reminded me of the color scheme for prototype Gundam, which is the RX-78-1. Well, I have that lying around, so we will go through that in the future. But you know, the one thing I like about this kind of like real color releases is that you once again get like decals already painted on it, and you know, if I were to compare it with this movie color version, seems to me there's more intricate decals for the movie color version, especially on the shoulder pads. But otherwise, it's kind of the same. The RX-78 exists here, although in a little bit different form. This decal looks definitely better than this boxy type. And then for the leg section, this one looks more intricate than this one. And then, at the end, it's just, once again, up to your preference. Like, both of them has their own kind of attractiveness to it, And, okay, let's put this movie color one down for a moment. So, since this is like the exact same mold, so if you are gonna get like the one, like you plan to only get one, then I'll definitely recommend getting this version, the real type color that comes with the G Fighter. Now, in terms of accessories, of course you get the typical Bandai way of repackaging their kit to attract you to continue buying their stuff, is to package in some extra accessories. Now, for the sake of this G Fighter configuration, you are given not one but two shields, which have the exact same decal. And if I were to compare it to the movie real type color version, it's the same shield, same mold, just different decal. Now this one has a decal on the back. This two doesn't, but this two has more going on in the front. And you get the Hyper Bazooka as well, except that this comes in this dark, very dark, closer to black, kind of like military green, whereas this one is more of like rusted, yellowish, green hue kind of bazooka. Okay, they are exactly the same mold, by the way. And of course, you can't have a Gundam without its signature, beam rifle. There's no decals whatsoever on here. And because since you are given two shields, so you are given two shield connectors to connect it to the arm, okay, instead of one. And if you ever wonder, if you ever notice that, what is this for? This thing here that's protruding out from the beam rifle, well, the answer is given in this real type color version, because they also give you this, they call it super napalm. Okay, this looked like some rotating grenade launcher thing. Reminded me of Unicorn Banshee Norn's beam rifle with that attachment, but it pretty much like goes in here like this. Okay, it's a bit snug, but yeah. So hey, you got the upgraded beam rifle. Yay! One reason to buy this over the other one. And the fun part here is that they include this extra backpack connector as well. Now, what it's used is that, normally for this, Hyper Bazooka, you either hold it in the hand, or you have this special connector that attaches to this butt flap here. Okay, this is a very new kit. I can't seem to be able to get it out. Okay, yes. So you're gonna have this special connector that connects the butt flap here, then you attach the Hyper Bazooka here. But, Bandai being Bandai, they included another extra replayability for this. Basically, this connector will connect to the backpack. Oh, okay. Or is it the other way around? Anyway, okay. let me just connect this to the backpack. And then you pretty much just plug in, okay, you pretty much just plug in the, oh, okay, apparently you're supposed to go something like this, right? Ah, yes, okay, you hear that snap. So it ended up becoming something like the heavy Gundam with its cannon on the back. Now this, I would say, is a cool feature and one more reason for you to get this version. And well, I have nothing to complain. If Bandai wants to include extra stuff, extra playability, I'm all for it. Unfortunately, you can't, there's no place for you to connect another bazooka here, make it like double bazooka, kind of, RX-78. But, I'm happy, I'm satisfied enough that they care to do something like this, And this can actually go, I believe, the other way around. Okay, maybe not. Yeah. I don't think you can connect this the other way. Maybe we can try it. Let me just get this off. Well, since it's all new, so it's still kind of snug, so bear with me. Ah, yes, I believe this kind of works as well. It doesn't seem to fit perfectly, but who cares? You got the lefty and got the righty. Yeah, still looks cool. Seems aligned with the shoulder pad. So, why not? So yeah, that's the extra backpack attachment for you. And yeah, so I guess that wraps up for the Gundam here. Now that I have two RX-78 and none of them is in that awful basic tricolor yellow, red, blue, and I'm really happy about it. I love real colors. Anyway, next I'm gonna review the G Fighter and its different modes, so stay tuned. Oh yeah, before I forgot, for this real type version, they also include this beam javelin. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of this beam javelin. It's a really basic kind of weapon. So basically, you can just attach it through the hand or something. You can kind of just hold it. There's quite a few hands to choose from. I believe one hand will fit. So it's kind of like, hold it like this. Or you can actually hold it kind of like the stabbing mode kind of way. But yeah, this beam javelin the design just looks really old. I'm not really into this. If you're gonna ask me which beam javelin that I kind of like, then I will say I would prefer the Thunderbolt, GM Thunderbolt. It's more like Gundam S ground type from the Gundam Thunderbolt series. But anyway, maybe we'll get to that in the future. So yeah, so that's all the extra stuff you're getting. And before I forget, you do actually get more thruster effect parts. In the original one, you only get 2 thruster effect parts. But for this one, you actually get 6. Now, there's a reason for it. I'll show you in the upcoming part on the G Fighter section. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is the review for the G Fighter, okay, in its original form. And as you can see, this real type version G Fighter in a black, blue, and there's some yellow and red color definitely looks better than the tricolor original G Fighter. There are some really nice decals going on as well. I love these touches, that that Bandai always put in its like repackaged, remarketed versions. Well, they have to do that in order to, convince people to buy. Now, there's some extra functions, like for example, the cockpit actually opens, and you can actually see it's quite detailed inside. Well, good job, Bandai. And then the nose part of this fighter jet form opens, and you can actually attach this like firing effect. Now, this is the awesome part about version anime robot damashis. They always give you some sort of gimmick, like this dual missile firing lookalike, and I'm just gonna keep it there for a while. And you have this double beam cannon thing that they also gave you the firing effect part, and this is quite awesome. Oh, okay. Okay, so it can look kind of like this. There's like the connector part. You pretty much have to kind of jam it in. This being made as action figures, so you can be a bit rough with it. It's okay. Like I say, the only part that you need to look out for in every robot spirits line is basically like the within the head part. So yeah, it looks really cool. Okay. And then there's another gimmick here. The back part for these thrusters can actually slide down to kind of transform it. But that will be, for the later configuration. And okay, they gave you these two like tracks. One will be the deployed one will be the in-flight one. So basically, when you want to give that impression like this G fighter is flying in the air, you attach this the flight mode. Okay, this is gonna be okay. Yeah, the flight mode track. So yeah, it's kind of like flying in the sky. And then now when it's going to land on the ground, you kind of turn it into some sort of a tank track mode by attaching this fully deployed version. So yeah, now it kind of travels on the ground. Well, honestly, it looks kind of stupid, But, back in the 70s, they need some gimmick to sell their toys. And apparently back then, what's more awesome than a tank and, big fighter plane? A fighter plane with tank tracks. So, this is basically the gimmick back in the 70s and 80s. I really hate this form, truth to be told. I wish that this tank track thing doesn't exist. The fighter on its own is quite awesome already. But yeah, I'm just gonna plug it off and pretend that mode doesn't exist. But anyway, back to this. So just now I did mention that for this real colored version, they included 6 thruster effects. Now, 2 of the original thruster effects are like, as you can see, angled connector, probably angled at like 30 degrees kind of thing. This one is more for, plugging it into the Gundam figure itself. Now, the new ones that they include are actually what they call straight connectors, okay? There's no angle to it, and it's for attaching to the thrusters of this G fighter. So yeah, looks really awesome once attached. Now, I know that Bandai for this version anime, they need to include some gimmicks because they pretty much released a lot of robot Damashi, robot spirits earlier releases in the UC era, so they need to include some gimmicks, and I totally approve of these gimmicks. See, now it looks really great. It looks like it's flying, it's shooting stuff, and of course this, as usual, there's a lot of places to attach these thruster effects. Typical Bandai, they don't give you all the thruster effects to fit into everything. I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, the thruster effects are actually attachable to this part. You know, the ones that okay, apparently not. Doesn't really fit. Or maybe they do. Oh yeah, okay. So you can actually attach these thruster effects here to give that impression like, you know, this VTOL enabled craft is flying up. Okay, I'm not gonna plug all the way in because it's quite tight, kind of hard to get it off. But yeah, so it's kind of like flying off. So yeah, small gimmicks, nothing very impressive, honestly. But it's always good. When it's Bandai giving you extra stuff, you should be thankful. Because when they don't, you can really feel that they are skimping on a lot of things. So yeah, this is pretty much... Oh, yeah, before I forgot, you may be wondering what's this hole at the back of this thruster is for. Now, there's like... The way to display this is you can display this either, you know, the Gundam is standing on top of here. So this is why they gave you this connector, this transparent looking connector, so that you can connect here. Then your Gundam can pretty much... Okay, it's not tight enough, I guess. Okay. You can plug it in, then your Gundam can pretty much stand. Yeah, you can kind of get it to pose and stand somehow. So yeah, you can play around with it. It's not gonna fall off. It's not very noticeable because this thing attaches to the ankle part. And then now if you want to display it, there's another way of pattern of displaying this. You know, the Gundam probably will be like kneeling down. Okay. It will be kneeling down, let's say, on this G fighter. Then they gave you this short, I guess, action-based connector thingy. Okay. To connect to the butt part. So this one goes up, you connect this to the butt part, then you kind of find a way to connect it here. Then you kind of just adjust it so that it will kind of kneel, give that kneeling effect on the plane, okay? Yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. It's gonna take out a lot of this review time, but yeah, you get the idea, you know. Thank you, Bandai, for thinking about this, you know. So we are kind of done with the G Fighter configuration.